In the studio again. Can you believe it's been probably 9 months since we've been in the studio?
Time flies. I was just realizing I thought I just met with our bookkeeper like a few months ago, and it was actually April of last year. Because I pulled up the notes, I was like, it just turned April. We didn't meet that.
So it was 12 months ago.
Yeah. You don't realize how fast it goes.
See, I'm almost I don't believe in time because for whatever reason, it just seems like the same stuff just happens over and over again. So I don't know if I'm a believer in time so much.
I know. Well, like what you said, I just feel like, everything works out. You go through your ups and downs.
Yeah.
It's helped me getting older, just realizing, keep doing the right thing and it's going to work out.
You're going to be my age before you know it. You're going to be 40 before you know it.
Well, yeah, I turned 38.
That's what I'm saying. Month. Yeah. You're gonna be, and when you get 40, it just like a lot of stuff just changes. Like, you really start appreciating the small stuff when you get 40. Like me being able to go out, even the pollen in Houston is insane.
Well, I've always had that issue.
I had my windows down at the range the other day. When I came back, there was pollen all on my front seat. Like that's how bad it is here right now.
Well, I washed my car because I'm washing probably, I'd say 3 months, so it's probably like 9 months. And it was, the pollen, I thought it was getting better. So I was like, I'm going to wash it. The next morning, it's all yellow again.
Yeah, all yellow again. So, we didn't even do a proper introduction. This is LeBron Palmer and
JJ Wood.
We don't know what episode this is, but 2 weeks in a row, we've done a podcast.
We're solid. So
2 weeks in a row.
It's going to be hard to make 3 weeks in a row because I have that tournament.
We can do it Zoom though.
Yeah, and we'll just have to see what my tea time is. So
of course. But we can do a Zoom. So this is the post-Masters episode of the Golf Performance Group podcast. So first impression, congratulations to Scheffler.
Yes.
The last 4 out of 6 events he has won, and he's won all different types of events. He won a match play. Okay. He won
the biggest party on grass or
waste management.
Yeah.
He won waste management. He won, of course, the Masters, and then what was the other one? Not the Players.
A Bay Hill.
Bay Hill. So he won.
So it's an invitational.
At 4 different,
a regular event, a World Golf Championship,
and a major.
Masters, a major.
So 4 out of 6. He's now been world number 1. He's the last player to win the Masters after becoming world number 1
since Tiger.
No, Trevor Immelman.
He was number 1.
He was world number 1.
That's crazy because Phil Mickelson never got to number 1 in the world. But a guy
never did?
No, never
did. Wait, that's got to be wrong.
No,
there's no way.
I swear. And now look at all the guys that have been number 1. But Phil's going to be, he's a sensitive subject still probably. But
how could he not be world? How could Phil never have been world number 1?
Because when he came on the scene, I mean, Tiger wasn't that short after, and Tiger was.
And he never got hurt.
And I think Greg Norman was number 1. And so Phil probably holds the record for being number 2 for the longest amount of time.
Phil kind of reminds me of like the KD LeBron conversation in the NBA. Like as soon as LeBron got in the league, he became number 1 after Kobe started to falter. Everyone thought KD was going to be the next star, but he had to play while LeBron was playing.
Yeah.
And that just makes it tough.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know basketball well enough.
But being number 2 just sucks. Think about it. Like if you're
I would take it.
because you and I, we're normal people. Yeah, but think about when the big dogs get in the room.
Yeah.
Like if you walked into the Masters dinner, of course, Phil wasn't able to make it. We're going to talk about Phil today also.
They said they invited him.
But he didn't go.
Yeah.
But in that room, who has the biggest ego? Tiger or Jack?
Just from what I've heard through the grapevine, Jack.
Okay, so Jack is the big dog in the room. And then of current players, it's got to be Tiger.
What do you mean by the biggest ego?
Like when you come into the room, everyone's standing to attention for one
Tiger,
person.
But
even more than Jack.
I'm saying who's the most what's the word? Ego. Like self-centered Jack. I've heard some stories.
Jack, I mean, he's the.
I think to be at that level, you kind of have to.
You have to be.
So they're both, but I don't know. Tiger's Tiger. I mean, we weren't around for the Jack coming on the scene, but Tiger changed the entire game.
I was 6.
Tiger is just different.
Yeah, I was 6 with Jack in '86 when he won, and that was before golf was on my radar. So I was 6.
So I don't remember, but I've seen the putt.
I've seen the putt too.
In the yellow shirt.
Yeah, I've seen the putt too. So Like, I think Tiger, personally, just watching him play this weekend, and we're going to jump to Tiger after we finish Scheffler. Watching Tiger this weekend, I think he can actually win again.
Yes, I agree.
Maybe not that course.
Did I not say so? After first rounds, like I said, he could get a top 10,
You
but
did
he
say
couldn't
that.
hold on.
You did say that.
I was just listening to PGA Tour radio this morning, and on round 3, he had 4 3-putts and a 4-putt.
And a 4-putt.
So if this guy was saying, well, if I wouldn't have hit it in the water, I might have made birdie on that hole. But Tiger doesn't do that.
He does not do that.
And so that turns his 78 into 72. And I thought his putting would actually be better because that's probably the first thing. That's the easiest thing for him to practice.
Not with a bad back.
But hitting balls versus.
But think about
the leg and the back. The leg isn't affected by the putting.
But keep in mind, when you're putting like that hinge, you got to be a little.
I can only practice for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, like you. So for him, but we'll get into Tiger because I wanted us to maybe break down different players, and we got to start with Scotty. Is Scotty really the best player in the world, or is he just on a heater?
Well, it's hard to say in golf because golf you have so many ups and downs. It's not like LeBron in basketball. He's just bigger, stronger, faster. He can have a bad shooting day, but then he can do other things to make up for it. It's it's hard in golf. There's so many things are out of your control to an extent. Like when Tiger made that putt in 2008 when he won the U.S. Open, spike marks everywhere on it. That's out of your control. And there's so much stuff like that in golf. You got to get the right breaks and be playing great.
But answer the question though.
Right now, yes, he's the best player.
So he's the best. Think about right now, Scotty from Texas.
Yeah.
From UT.
And he moved what, from Michigan when he was like 8?
But he went to so right now UT to me runs the golf world. You've got Scheffler, Spieth, then Justin Thomas go to UT?
Alabama.
Okay.
You got a lot of Alabama guys.
I wonder what college runs the golf world right now.
Well, yeah, it's hard to say because for a while it was like Arizona State with
all the time. Yeah.
Pat Perez, Paul Casey, Mickelson, all these guys.
And then you had like some weird thing with some school in Georgia. What was that school that had like a bunch of players?
Was it? Why are you thinking of Augusta State with Patrick Reed?
Yeah.
And there's a couple.
There was a couple more that came from there also.
Yeah, Georgia has a ton.
Also.
The whole top 5 from my era has, I think, won on tours like Brian Harmon, Russell Henley.
All of them have got to win.
Yeah. Harris English.
So you say right now, Scotty,
what, 4 out of the last 6 or 7 events?
Mentally and talent, best player on tour.
Right now.
Okay. All right. Second question. Let's go to Morikawa. This is my guy. You've
always been about
I lost money.
You've been right. I wasn't as high on him as I was like Victor Hovland and Matt Wolff.
Matt Wolff fell off. He's had some issues. Yeah.
Well, and that's where it's so hard with these young guys. You don't know what's inside them.
Agreed.
And I think Matt Wolff has what's inside him, but he's struggling more up
mentally.
here. And with the transition to the professional golf world and money.
Agreed. It changes your life. So I bet on Morikawa the top 10. Thankfully, he had a great final round.
So, I never bet because I'm always backwards.
You do. You say bet opposite of you.
I actually entered a poll. This guy from Ohio sent me something.
Did you win?
Well, I haven't checked since round 4, but I was tied for 62nd with my picks.
The pool that we did, we're also tied for last in the pool I did. And it's like 180 people.
And I was like, but I think I chose Scheffler. And then I can't find my picks. I just looked at the rankings and I was like, man, how are all my guys over? I'm over par by a lot. But I had some solid ones. I can't remember now.
So Morikawa snuck in top 10. I personally think that Morikawa is the best ball striker on tour. I think long irons at least.
Well, they say his iron play is up there. Tiger was historically the best.
And I think Morikawa is next.
They say he's Tiger-esque. But irons. Yeah.
What do you? Okay, let's go to young guys again. What do you think of him versus Scotty versus Thomas is still a young guy? Jordan Spieth. Like, where do we Hovland? Where do we put those guys in now that Scotty has proven number 1 player in the world?
God, they're all kind of so different.
They are. They're completely different.
And that's what. There's so many different ways to play this game. They all hit it far enough because everybody hits it far these days.
Most out of them is probably Hovland.
What?
Most distance.
Not most distance. He's most accurate.
Okay.
We'd have to look that up. But I know he hits it.
He hits it far.
But Scotty hits it far.
Scotty does hit it far.
Justin Thomas hits it far.
Not like them guys though.
Him and Morikawa are about the same, probably.
But Hovland and
but
Scotty.
You get Rory. Is he not a young guy anymore?
No, he's 31.
Okay.
You got to be under 30 to be a young guy.
Okay.
So and Rory will be our last person.
Well, how old is JT?
I think he's just 28 or 29. Let me just to make sure I'll look it up.
Because God, time's flying. Like Jordan's 28, 29.
Yep. You got to be under 30 to still be a young guy.
Scheffler's 25 and he looks like he's 45.
Scheffler's struggling.
And acts like he's 45.
He's struggling.
God, it was great to see though.
Justin Thomas, 28.
28, yeah, him and that 2011 class.
Yeah.
But I thought it was great to see. You don't want to. He started making me nervous after like his third putt on the 18.
Not me. He had 5 shots to play with.
But he kept Okay, so I teach when you're 5 feet and in, give it a little more speed. Like rarely do you got to play it outside the hole. Just hit a solid putt inside the hole if you think it's breaking one way or the other. But when you got a 5-shot lead and you're on Augusta National greens, don't give it more speed. He kept going 3 feet, 3 feet, and I was like. And then I heard on the radio again, his caddy said, like on his 4th one, he's like, all right, Scotty Scheffler said, I'm going to make this one. And he said, all right, but if you don't, let's hit it really soft. So
just so you could just be 2 inches away next time.
I was watching with my girlfriend. I was like, just tap it. Like, that's what I'd be doing. Just tap it a foot.
Like Happy Gilmore, just tap it in. Yeah.
It's not a normal 4-footer, 3-footer.
It's not. This is to change your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could see that. So, and then last person, McIlroy. Almost broke the course record, but did tie the course record on a Sunday. Shot 8 under on. Is he the best player with no pressure?
Yes. Yeah, because, him and Dustin Johnson, in my eyes, are like the 2 most talented guys in the world. But Dustin plays bad, not under pressure or under pressure. He's the same either way.
You're right.
Rory's the one. I mean, but DJ did have like that 3-putt or whatever at the U.S. Open. But Rory has consistently put himself in contention and just like fallen apart. Like that one time he had a 4-shot lead on the back, going to the back nine of the Masters.
I know, and he hit it in that house, like in the neighborhood. Like,
and I don't know. Yeah, I can't figure him out because he's like, a genius of hitting the golf ball.
He's a great player.
He's great, and his putting is better than it was, a few years back. And he just, I don't know if it's the desire, the passion, or maybe the mental side of things when he gets under pressure. I don't know, but I mean, he's got all the tools, and it's hard to say he's won 4 majors. He didn't live up to potential. But
he didn't know. I mean,
he's 31. He's got 4 majors.
And Brooks Koepka is starting to not live. Well, no one thought he had that potential. First off,
I mean, it's so hard to say because they're all so good. Yeah. But I mean, he has 7 tour wins?
7 tour wins and 4 majors.
Rory's got a lot of tour wins, a lot of European tour wins.
Rory's creeping up on
Rory
20
and
wins.
DJ, in my eyes, are a little step up from Brooks. Like their potential is better.
But Brooks has this though, like that.
DJ does too.
That will to win. No, Brooks has the will to win. DJ does not have the will to win, or at least.
I don't think. Yeah, he's got the air. He leads in the arrogance that he believes.
Let me preface it by saying, yes, Dustin Johnson has the will to win. He's one of the greatest golfers, but there's some switch that DJ has that I mean that Koepka has that I haven't seen.
Well,
from
only
DJ.
In majors though.
That's what matters.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
but you should be having like when I think of that switch, or we always talk about in like distance, like another gear. Like DJ, Rory, Brooks, I'm sure has it, but I don't know. Like Scotty Scheffler right now has won 4 of the last 6 or 7, the World Golf Championship, an invite, and a major. Did Brooks just get hot at those times?
He could have been on a heater.
We won't know.
Spieth
because they were within like a 2 or 3 year span.
Spieth definitely just got hot during his run.
Putter wasn't human.
Yeah, and he's never been able to recreate that.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of thought, because I mean, like I said, there's too many variables outside your control. Like grain, there's bad breaks, but he's making 4 mid-range putts around. The average tour player makes 2. Like that's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Because he's beaten them by 8 shots on the greens over the course of a tournament.
That makes a huge difference. Yeah. Okay, so coming out of the Masters, we'll wrap with Tiger. His body looked okay. I think he being able to walk Augusta, which I've never been. Have you ever been to Augusta?
No, I've just
Okay.
talked to people and they say the hills you see just don't give it justice on TV.
That's what everyone is saying. So I think personally, after we talked last week, this was his test to see if he could play competitive golf. I think he ratchets his workouts up, his practice up, and I think he plays more than just the majors this year.
Well, he always says, I only tee it up if I believe I can win, which I'm sure because he's so mentally tough, he probably believed that. But it was also the first kind of test,
exactly,
like case study to see, get feedback, how is needed, how he felt, like what he needs to change in his training regimen, what he needs to work on, all that stuff. Like get the feedback, and then he's gonna. I'm curious if he's going to play in the PGA Championship because that's only a month away.
I think he does.
I think he does too because I think
he's won at Southern Hills.
Yeah, exactly.
In '99.
Yeah, and then that was a
PGA?
Did Y.E. Yang or something?
No,
beat him
it was
there?
a U.S. Open that he won in '99, and then he lost to Y.E. Yang in.
No, the U.S. Open '99 was Payne Stewart at Pinehurst.
Which one was Southern Hills then? Was it a PGA?
I think it's like 03 PGA. I don't know. We'll have to look it up.
We'll have to look it up.
I believe he's won there.
He's won there.
But I also feel like that Y.E. Yang beat him for the first time ever. Tiger having
when he had a lead in the
final
round.
Like it might have been there, but I don't know. I think he's won there. But I going forward, I would think he would play the majors. He'd probably play like Torrey.
His tournament, Hero.
His tournament, Bay Hill.
I think he goes to
maybe less than 10 a year.
I think he goes to that one where they all get paid in Dubai. Don't they get paid like $5 million just to show up?
Well, I think he was, I don't know, because of all that controversy with Phil and the European tour and the Super Golf Tour. And
but Phil was on
whoever hosts
different.
that event. But I think Tiger was on the side like he's going to support PGA Tour. And if he's only playing select times a year.
Yeah, you're not going to waste it on that trip.
Yeah, if he's going to support the PGA Tour, I would think he would play in their events. But
So the big missing gap was Phil Mickelson. We didn't get a chance to talk about him last week. Phil got embroiled in the scandal with the Saudi Golf League.
Yeah.
He personal quotes came out, just a bunch that did not make Phil look good. Which I never thought would happen.
Me neither.
KPMG dropped him.
Callaway suspended him or dropped him?
Callaway didn't drop him. He's suspended. But KPMG, who he's had that logo, he's had that logo at least since 2000.
6. Well, at that Wingfoot, was that 05? Was he wearing KPMG, that one he blew on the last hole?
I've only known him to wear KPMG. It's at least been a decade or more. When they dropped him, I was like, this is serious.
Yeah.
This is serious.
Yeah, I thought when them and Callaway I guess didn't drop him.
They suspended
him. But he's the face, in the golf world, he's the face of those two.
I agree. And so what do you think? What do you first think about the super leagues? Like Greg Norman has a super league that he's working on.
That's the super.
No, they're different. Greg Norman has one, and then the Saudi Golf League is different.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the Saudi Golf League is what Phil was pushing for.
Oh, I thought him and Greg Norman were working together.
No, so Greg Norman has his own Super Golf League, and then there's the Saudi Golf League that Phil was working on. Both of them are claimed to be leverage positions where the players can get more from the PGA Tour.
I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, because I've always felt golf in general, there's a lot of players that get left out because there's not a minor league system. There's not, you got to pay to play. But like I don't know. I always thought there should be a team golf type of thing where you get a salary. Why couldn't you make it like college golf? I think it'd be exciting if you had 5 guys on a team. You have an individual champion. You have a team champion.
I mean, they could probably do that. Like, I think you would have to do it through equipment partners, though.
So,
like, this is Nike. This is Callaway. This is TaylorMade.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, and and so, and if you were able to do it by like Houston Rockets or whatever, I think that would get the events in those cities big too, and you'd have a lot more passionate fans and stuff. I would agree. Since I was a kid, I always thought about that because with all the other sports that do it, why don't? And college golf does it. Why can't they do that? But I don't know. Because there's so much tradition in golf with the majors and certain events like Bay Hill. Like those guys, I think care more about that. Those top players, leaving their legacy than getting paid $250 million to make money. I mean, because like John Rahm said, I made more money. I mean, they're making hundreds of millions already. Like most of them, those
Of course,
top guys,
yeah.
because they make more off the course than they do on. And so, you know, I don't know. I don't see it happening, but I would like. I don't know the PGA Tour. I don't agree how they keep adding money to the FedEx Cup. Like, why don't you let that? What does that do for Brooks Koepka? $5 million more dollars.
Nothing.
Nothing. But you know that could go to PGA Tour Canada, Latin America. Get those guys at least a purse they're playing for, so they can support themselves and keep playing.
You want them to have a standard of living, because the better their standard of living is, the better the golf will be.
Well, no one can even. You got to live at home with your parents.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You want them to have a better standard of living.
Yeah, and so they can keep trying, because there's so many good players out there that just don't. And you know, Ben Curran, who I have a personal relationship with, he was up there he let him in ball striking, the one major he played in, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, but you got to pay your own way. I only lasted 6-9 months, because I was like, this is not worth it. Like,
yeah, I mean, you know, we've interviewed Josh Creel and you know, kind of following his journey.
And what's going on with him this year?
He just haven't made as many cuts. He has made a few, but it's to your point, it's tough. Even when you graduate from the Corn Ferry.
Well, you don't know the courses like the other guys.
Exactly. Like, you show up to what's the Genesis Open. There's guys who've played the Genesis for 5 straight years.
Yep.
This is your first time ever seeing the course. And mistakes, it doesn't matter how many practice rounds you do. It just takes time.
It takes time. Yeah, it's tough. They say the hardest thing is getting your card. The second hardest thing is keeping it. You know, and I mean, now there's not a qualifying tournament to go to the PGA Tour, so you got to go sit on the Corn Ferry Tour, make no money, unless you're playing well enough to be in that top 25, where you might make a little profit or support your, have your own apartment. But like, you know, so there's really 225 guys that can make a living playing golf in the U.S. tours. That's
agreed. Yeah, and then the rest of them are going, like you said, PGA Tour Latin America.
In first place, they're
Canada.
paying $17,000, and it drops off quick. And like, to win on one of those is like the competition is not much different than Corn Ferry Tour.
Even the Adams
and the Corn Ferry Tour. I mean, Scheffler was just there 3 years ago.
Yes, even the Adams Tour.
None of them are easy.
They're hard. Like, because I was following. I've got another buddy who plays on the Adams Tour, and I was following their scores.
I think it's called like All Pro Tour now or something.
Okay, I still call it that.
Well, because I have those mini tour guys, and they.
But their first, the winner was like 2,200. What's 2,200 under?
Yeah, in those, it's because I played those, and those. So those don't prepare you well for the PGA. They don't prepare you for championship golf. You're playing municipal courses. You say Hearthstone.
I know.
It's runways. It's a putting contest. You can hit it fairways over, and guys shoot 22 under, but the best player isn't going to win.
No,
no. Because yes, putting is important, but they're not being penalized for all their wayward shots, and so you don't get a good development as far as your game goes as you would playing PGA Tour Canada and stuff. Yeah. So the competition level is about the same, from PGA Tour Canada to ATP Tour, but you're getting a much better experience on and then you top 5, you get into the final stage and you work your way up. But
so let's talk about your South Texas PGA event. I was following along, and according to you said, man, I should have won that tournament, but you finished T4. Tell the people about your first South Texas PGA event. And did it rain out there?
I never say I should have won, except this time.
You said that to me.
But did I say that last year when I had the lead?
No, you did not. I
got beat.
Okay.
But, we won't get that much into it. But what I learned from it was, I talked about last week on the podcast, I've been working on my putting. So the first round putted great, had some breaks I've never seen before.
Okay.
Like hitting a wedge high in the air from the fairway, it lands pin high. There's houses 30 to 40 yards over the green. It was like it hit a cart path, and they're like, what'd that hit? And they're like, it landed, because my guys I was playing with were up there. They're like, it must hit a hard spot, but it bounced like 10 feet in the air into the house, 30 yards over the green. So I go back, make my double. Hole 10, I fly it in the hole, it ricochets out left. So I have like 30 feet. Anyway.
Those are bad breaks. Those are bad breaks.
And then, the last round I got to 2 under. And then I like we were just talking about the PGA Tour, you haven't played the courses enough, So I have a par 5. I'm 200 on the round. I think I was tied for the lead. I'm not sure at that point, but I have a 6-iron into a par 5 into the wind over water. So I'm natural instincts. I want to air long. So I striped it right over the flag. Okay. It goes over the green. I was unaware that, so now I'm downwind, down slope. The greens were firm. I hit a chip and I nip it, lands on the fringe, hops, but it just starts trickling, goes in the water.
Oh my gosh.
So and then my putter went ice cold.
You could have won the tournament for real then.
So like, I never make excuses. I hate it when people make excuses. So don't judge me.
Beat him
much.
up, judge him.
But that wedge that hopped off the green, out of bounds, 30 yards over the green. Go look on Google Earth on Riverbend, hole number 6. 18 birdies app will show you hole number 6. It is unfreaking believable. Like, and then, so now I'm like, I identified why my putter went cold. That's my fault. That's on me. I didn't, because I was hitting it really well and give myself 10, 15, 5 feet here, like every hole coming in. And I was just like, I've got to make, like, my mindset changed, and then I got leaving on my hair short. Then I lipped a couple out. Then I ram it, and then I let it affect. I let one putt affect the next putt, and it was just I still had a chance, and it was so I caused the back. I still could have won it if I would have putted well, but that's on me. That's my fault. That's not back break.
So T4, what's next? When's the next event?
So our biggest one, I leave Thursday for the PGA
Austin
National Championship. It's in Austin.
Yep.
So the top 7 from South Texas PGA, we had a qualifier, our section championship last year. Top 7 go to national, and there'll be 312 players from all the sections. Top 20 go to the PGA Championship in May. So I'm confident, even with the bad breaks and my putter going cold, if I play that game, I'll be in the
top 7,
top 20 to go to the PGA. But if I keep my putter rolling and breaks go my way, this is the first time I feel confident I could win it.
Let's hear that. Say it to the camera. That
I learned a lot in 2017 when I hit it well, but that was just out of nowhere. I started playing well for a couple of years, and then I got to the tour events and I didn't know what to expect. It was my first time going to the national. I didn't know what to expect. I made it through, but this time I know what to expect. I may not know the course because I played it one time, but I can control my golf ball as good as I ever have. And I'm putting. If I can have that putting I've had for the last 5 tournament rounds, besides that back 9 on last Tuesday, if Ben Kern gets hot, I think I could battle him.
Nice.
He's one of the guys.
Ben has won a lot.
He's amazing. But outside of him, if he's on his best, because he's shot in a 61 in the Texas State Open when he won, I got to keep my confidence up. So I don't want to say I can't beat him, but I'm pretty confident my best game can compete with any of those guys.
Okay, y'all hear it here. Y'all heard it here first.
Is better than most of those guys, with an exception of a few. And Ben Kern comes to mind because him, Bob Sowers. He almost won the senior PGA championship last year.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of guys I'm leaving out that their top game is top in the world. I mean, they've shown it on the big stage.
And meanwhile, I just want to shoot 79 at the Highlands at Wildcat, or shoot 79 up at Northgate. So I'm close too. I'm close. No, so that's been my best club.
Well, you see,
that's what's crazy. Like
that's what I got back finally at Riverbend. I've been worrying about. It's because this is a TaylorMade house.
I see that. I do. TaylorMade, come find us. TaylorMade, come find us. We are the podcast you need to work.
So I've always kind of been hesitant towards TaylorMade. Never really played their stuff, and they changed their. I don't think they do it as much anymore, but they always had a new driver every month, I felt like. But I finally made the change because of like Ben Kern and Bob Sowers there, and their stuff is so good.
Yeah.
It is. It's not all about the money with those guys going to their stuff is good. Like my equipment's the best I've had it. Like, and since I switched to PXG in 2014, I feel the same way I did when I switched from Titleist irons to PXG irons.
Nice.
Like the setup I have right now is amazing. It's, okay. So, and I don't even get paid to say that.
Well, we will be getting paid soon.
And I actually wore the hat instead of Golf Performance Group because I'm thankful that I got a free set of clubs. And I could get out of those damn PXG irons that look like overcast, like game improvement clubs. So.
Well, we will talk more. We will. We're gonna reach out to you all, TaylorMade, also, because we have some things that we can do with you all, especially my game.
Well, and the other thing is they have a cool. So I'm going to Muirfield.
Nice.
last week of April
Yeah.
because they have the TP series, and the top 4 at each event get into the national TP Classic Invitational at Pebble Beach, which Ben Kern just won.
Nice.
But they have a lot of cool things like that. They do things differently than other companies.
Okay, so TaylorMade, we're gonna be in touch. Look, we don't know what episode this is, but it is.
So we'll give a shout out to Sean Dawson. He's a Houston rep.
Shout out to Sean Dawson.
He's the one helping me out, getting the stuff quick to me, and it's been awesome.
Sean, we need you on the podcast. We need to talk.
Bring him in.
We need to talk to him on the podcast.
And why is their stuff so good?
Yeah, we need to do that. So whatever episode this has been LeBron Palmer and
JJ Wood.
We're out.